Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're laser focused on a really significant chapter, navigating your 40s with vitality. This decade, well, it often brings a whole new landscape, doesn't it? Physical sensations, life priorities changing.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we've pulled together some articles really examining how you can make positive lifestyle shifts and, properly prioritize your well-being once you hit that 40-year mark. We're looking at, well, everything from sleep science to fitness strategies.
Yeah, our mission today is pretty simple. Cut through all the noise, extract the practical stuff, the insightful advice from these sources. We want you to finish this feeling hopefully empowered, equipped to make smart choices for your health, your happiness in your 40s, not just buried under a mountain of info.
Well said.
Okay, so let's dive right in with something we all do, or at least try to do, sleep.
Yeah, sleep. The consensus in our sources is really clear. Aim for a consistent 7 to 8 hours. Sound sleep nightly. But it's not just about feeling less tired the next day, especially as we get older.
Right, it's way more than that, isn't it? One of the articles pointed out some, well, pretty surprising connections.
It's fascinating, actually, how deeply sleep is tied to our overall health. For instance, studies suggest good sleep helps regulate hormones that control appetite, so potentially leading to fewer calories consumed.
Huh, interesting.
And it's crucial for sharp thinking, too, boosting both concentration and, cognitive performance. And maybe most importantly, consistent quality sleep is a huge factor in lowering your risk of things like high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, even depression.
Wow.
Plus, it's a cornerstone of a strong immune system. Really fundamental.
It's almost like a superpower we're neglecting if we skimp on sleep.
Yeah.
And I know personally my sleep patterns have, well, they've shifted a bit in my 40s. Feels like it takes more effort to get that truly restful sleep.
That's a really common experience. Our sources definitely emphasize the need to be more intentional, about our sleep routine as we age. One very concrete suggestion that came up was creating a tech-free zone in the bedroom.
Right. And beyond just not being woken up by notifications, one article highlighted some other interesting perks of, ditching the devices there.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, think about the potential benefits of, say, reduced exposure to electromagnetic radiation. It also creates more space for maybe meaningful interactions with family, offers a quiet window for self-reflection at the end of the day, and can certainly lessen that pre-bedtime scroll through social media, which, let's be honest, can sometimes fuel anxiety rather than relaxation.
Yeah, definitely some compelling reasons to unplug before hitting the pillow. All right, let's move on to taking a more proactive stance on our health. It sounds like those regular checkups with the doctor become even more critical in our 40s.
That's a key message from our sources, yes. As we enter this decade, the risk for certain health conditions can increase. So regular doctor visits aren't just about fixing problems, they're really about early detection and preventative care. That can significantly impact long-term health outcomes.
And it's not just a general once-over, is it? There are specific things we should be monitoring more closely now.
Precisely. The articles really highlight the importance of keeping tabs on your blood pressure, your cholesterol levels, that's both the LDL, the bad one, and HDL, the good one, and your blood sugar levels. Regular eye exams also become increasingly important.
Okay.
And for women in their 40s, consistent breast cancer screenings are absolutely vital for early detection.
Important reminders for everyone listening. Now, let's talk about some lifestyle adjustments. And one that came up very strongly across the board was, well, quitting smoking.
And with very good reason. Our sources are just unequivocal about the profound health benefits of quitting at any age. But doing so by 40 significantly cuts your risk of premature death from a whole range of smoking-related illnesses.
It's almost unbelievable the positive changes that start happening in your body almost immediately after you stop easier breathing, a real boost in energy levels, and adding years to your life. It's a powerful list.
It really is. And it's particularly important for women to be aware of the specific risks smoking poses to fertility, as one of the articles points out.
Good point. Another significant lifestyle factor is reducing alcohol consumption. I think many of us in our 40s have probably noticed that hangovers hit a little harder these days.
That's certainly a noticeable symptom, yes, but the impact goes deeper. Our sources discuss how liver function can become less efficient as we age, making it harder for our bodies to process alcohol.
Right.
And even if alcohol initially helps you fall asleep, it often disrupts the later, more restorative stages of sleep. Plus, alcohol adds empty calories, can slow down your metabolism, contributing to weight gain. And it can also interact negatively with certain medications you might be taking.
So it sounds like reevaluating our relationship with alcohol in our 40s is a pretty smart move for many of us. Okay, let's shift our focus to something we have more direct control over day to day: movement and posture. The articles really emphasize the negative effects of too much sitting.
Absolutely. What's concerning is the cumulative impact of prolonged sitting. Increased risk of weight gain, back problems, even cardiovascular issues. The sources strongly recommend breaking up long periods of sitting. Stand up, move around for a few minutes every 20 minutes or so.
It sounds almost too simple, but even just standing up regularly makes a difference.
It really does. Simple actions like standing engage your muscles, which can aid in toning. It can also boost your productivity by increasing blood flow, reduce feelings of fatigue, improve your mood, and even alleviate that lower back pain that sitting for too long can really worsen.
And posture specifically was highlighted as a key focus for staying healthy in our 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, years spent hunched over a desk can really take their toll.
Exactly. Poor posture is a very common issue, and our sources suggest focusing on strengthening the muscles in your upper back. This not only helps you stand taller, straighter, reducing aches and pains, but it can also have a visual benefit, making you appear more youthful, more confident. It's about investing in your future well-being, to avoid that sort of stooped posture later in life.
That makes perfect sense. Now let's talk about fueling our bodies effectively. Nutrition for vitality was a major theme, starting with the importance of protein intake.
Yes, the articles consistently emphasize the need for adequate and sometimes even slightly increased protein intake after 40. See, as we age, we naturally start to lose muscle mass, so sufficient protein is just vital for maintaining strength and function.
And it's not just about keeping our muscles strong, is it? There were other benefits mentioned for prioritizing protein.
Absolutely. Eating enough protein can help you feel fuller for longer, which might reduce those late-night snacking cravings. It also plays a role in boosting your metabolism, increasing the number of calories you burn at rest, which can definitely aid in weight management.
Right.
And some studies even suggest a link between getting enough protein and a lower risk of heart disease.
Next up is something I know I personally need to be more conscious of: hydration.
You're definitely not alone there. Dehydration can become a more significant issue for people over 40. Our body's natural ability to conserve water tends to decrease, and certain medications can also contribute to fluid loss. So staying well hydrated is just crucial for a huge range of bodily functions: detoxification, regulating body temperature, helping with nutrient absorption, maintaining healthy blood circulation, lubricating your joints. The list goes on.
So water really is essential for keeping everything running smoothly. What about breakfast? Is it still, considered the most important meal of the day?
Our sources certainly support that idea, yeah. Breakfast plays a vital role. A nutritious breakfast is linked to improved cognitive function, better productivity, concentration, memory. It also helps in regulating blood sugar and cholesterol levels and can be a key factor in managing your weight by, reducing the likelihood of overeating later in the day.
And it sounds like nurturing our gut health becomes even more important as we get older, too.
That's right. Changes in our digestive system can happen as we age. Supporting a healthy gut through a diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods, plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, and maybe some probiotic-rich foods is crucial for good digestion and a robust immune system.
One of the articles made a really interesting point, saying that nutrition can have a more powerful impact on how we age than many, like wrinkle creams or topical treatments. It touched on some common nutritional missteps women over 40 often make.
Yeah, what's particularly insightful there is the focus on really understanding calorie intake and macronutrient balance, the proportions of protein, carbs, and fats. Many people might not have a realistic picture of how many calories they're actually consuming or the breakdown of those key nutrients.
I see.
Inconsistent tracking of food intake, struggling to integrate healthy eating into their lifestyle, those are also common challenges. The underlying principle, according to the source, often just boils down to consistently consuming fewer calories than you expend.
Calories in, calories out.
That's pretty much, yeah. And finding a sustainable way to monitor that, whether it's detailed food logging or maybe a well-structured meal plan.
That makes sense. You can't really outrun a consistently unhealthy diet, can you?
Yeah.
Now let's get to a topic I think many people find motivating: exercise. The good news is it's never too late to start, right?
Absolutely. Our sources offer a really encouraging message here. Starting a fitness routine in your 40s can yield benefits in reducing the risk of chronic diseases like cancer and cardiovascular disease, and even overall mortality that are comparable to those who've been active their whole lives.
That's fantastic news, seriously. And it's not just about the physical benefits. The mental and emotional perks sound pretty significant, too.
Oh, they are. Regular exercise is strongly linked to improved mood, overall well-being. It can help reduce symptoms of depression and often leads to increased energy levels. Physically, it's crucial for maintaining good balance, helps prevent falls, and for improving strength and just overall physical function.
The advice, though, was definitely to ease into it, to avoid getting injured. Start low and go slow was kind of the mantra.
Exactly. It's vital to gradually increase the intensity and duration of your activity. A good, well-rounded routine includes aiming for about 30 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise most days of the week.
Okay.
Muscle strengthening exercises targeting all major muscle groups at least 2 days a week, and then some balance exercises incorporated a couple of times a week as well.
And weight training seemed to get a special emphasis for really transforming the body in your 40s, more so than just cardio.
It did, yeah. Our sources highlight that weight training can be particularly effective for addressing things like, say, cellulite, because it builds lean muscle mass, which helps to tighten and smooth the skin. It's also important to consider that with the hormonal shifts and potentially increased stress levels common in our 40s, sometimes excessive high-intensity cardio and really restrictive diets can actually be counterproductive.
Interesting.
So a balanced approach often involves combining weight training with more relaxing forms of cardio, like walking or maybe cycling.
So it's not just about endless cardio anymore. Did the article suggest how many weight training sessions per week for a good program?
Yeah, the recommendation is typically around 3 to 5 weight training sessions per week, lasting about 30 to 45 minutes each. And crucially, one source emphasized the importance of regularly evaluating your progress and actually adjusting your workout routine based on how your body is responding, rather than just blindly following some generic plan.
Right, listening to your body.
Exactly. Consistency is key, of course, and sticking with the program for at least, say, 8 weeks is generally advised to really start seeing noticeable results.
Solid, actionable advice there. Now, let's shift gears slightly to the connection between our minds and bodies. Deep breathing and meditation were highlighted as valuable practices.
Yeah, these practices offer significant benefits, particularly as we navigate the potential stresses of our 40s and beyond. Deep breathing is a, remarkably effective tool for reducing stress and anxiety. It can also improve lung function, which can naturally decline a bit with age. Plus, it positively influences digestion, supports the body's detox processes, can boost energy levels, and even help regulate blood pressure. Meditation, on the other hand, is more like training your mind. It's been linked to potential benefits like slowing cognitive decline, improving focus, aiding digestion, and reducing anxiety.
And the importance of spending time outdoors seems almost like a prescription for good health these days.
Absolutely. Exposure to sunlight helps our bodies produce vitamin D, which is crucial for protecting against depression, certain cancers, osteoporosis.
Wow.
Natural light can also speed up healing, improve concentration, even vision, help alleviate pain, and contribute to better sleep. Overall, just spending time in nature has a profound positive impact on both mental well-being and energy levels.
I also found it interesting that one of the articles specifically mentioned the value of spending time alone. It's not all about being social, is it?
No, solitude offers its own unique advantages, definitely. It provides valuable time for self-reflection, can foster feelings of happiness and inner calm, and allows us to gain a clearer understanding of ourselves and maybe the positive changes we want to make in our lives.
Which leads us quite naturally to the importance of social engagement and maintaining those positive connections with friends and family as we age.
Yes, our sources really emphasize that strong social connections are a significant contributor to better overall health, sharper cognitive function, and can even play a role in preventing dementia later on. Social interaction boosts self-esteem, provides crucial support for managing stress, and ultimately contributes to a happier and potentially a longer life.
And finally, the power of cultivating a positive mindset. That really can't be overstated, can it?
That's so right. Embracing the aging process with a sense of gratitude for what you have, focusing on the positive aspects of your life that can actually contribute to a longer lifespan and enhance your ability to cope with the inevitable stresses and challenges that come your way.
So it really sounds like our 40s can be a truly powerful time for taking the reins and making meaningful, positive changes just by considering all these interconnected elements.
Precisely. It's a real opportunity to consciously shape our well-being and embrace this decade with, intention and energy.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. Really useful stuff. So considering all these interconnected aspects we've talked about, sleep, nutrition, movement, mindset, maybe ask yourself, what small but significant shift can you make in your routine, maybe starting today, to begin your own powerful transformation? Think about how these elements work together for your long-term health and vitality. Thanks for exploring this with us.